Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Wyavera Wednesday.
There it is.
The blue.
You know, I told you, I think Wyvetta's now has become the go-to gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, there's I'm sure your kids, Father's Day, whatever, let's get Dad something to work at, some kind of workout thing, right? Because
oftentimes.
It's if you play golf, you know, hey, give Dad some golf balls or this. Yeah. And I think I got like 3 of these for Father's Day, so I think it's the go-to gift.
I mean this with all due respect, and it might be a compliment. It should be. You look very Latino in the blue.
All right.
Like, if you came up to me talking like this, I'd believe it. Like, I'd be like, oh, that guy's from Miami.
Hey, caramba!
No, we don't say that.
You know what? When we were in Tampa at lunch, a very nice senora,
yeah.
An older Latina.
Yeah.
She just came up to me. I had this gray one on. She said, I really like your Wyvetta.
Huh.
I said, well, thank you very much.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Again, she was just complimenting the shirt.
Yeah, very nice.
Not me, the shirt.
By the way, I said blue to start things off because I did want to start things off with the red, white, and blue game returning to honor America's 250th anniversary and also 25 years from 9/11 when they took on Oklahoma State. This year they'll be taking on Arizona State. Yeah,
I was living in Austin covering high schools when this happened.
Yep.
No, that's not true. I wasn't covering high schools. I think I was already on the. But anyway, I just saw it on TV.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
And I didn't even know it was planned. And it was, I think ESPN was showing all the different ways that people were showing patriotism all over the country. And guys were coming out, and this is great, you know, coming out with flags, you know, and different things like that. And let's go to College Station, Texas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they turned the whole stadium into just this display of red, white, and blue patriot. How'd they do that? And then when you read the story
about it,
I swear nobody, you know, there are these D-bags all over the country. They call A&M a cult and all this. I'm like, you know what? Look at that. Look at how a bunch of Aggies in less than 2 weeks came up with this idea, made it happen, set it up. I mean, that's the culture that I want to be part of.
Isn't every fan base a cult?
Well, I just know this.
If you're doing cheers, aren't you a cult?
If you got a bunch of grown people, you know, calling the hog, going pig, pig, suey. By the way, in like Lord of the Rings, the pig was kind of the
leader.
No, it was.
Oh, I've never watched or read.
The actual pig, they put his head on a spike. It was actually kind of a metaphor for Satan. Just saying, and you know
what they say.
And the people back in the Old Testament, they worshiped golden calves, which grows into a steer, which a certain fan base worships that. So I'm just saying,
you're saying,
I prefer the cult of patriotism, the culture of patriot, because America starts with A&M.
You know what? We should hear "Born in the USA" on the next segment.
No, because that's actually a protest song.
Oh, you're right. Forgot. That's right. Everybody thought at the time.
God bless the USA.
Yeah. How about James Brown, "Living in America"?
Living in America.
Now that's an American song.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah.
Thought the movie was kind of suspect.
Rocky IV?
Yeah.
The heck is wrong with you?
I just wanted to get you. I knew I was going to get yours. I knew I was going to get a reaction.
That movie is America. Rocky Balboa is basically America.
Living in America, training in Russia.
Yeah, with a beard.
Maybe he should have had a second song going training in Russia.
You should write the lyrics to that at the break. Anyway, let's for a moment relive the 2001 game. That was a win by Texas A&M. They won 21-7. And if I remember, I think I wrote it down here. Wes Bodovich had the big block at the end. Mark Ferris threw a touchdown pass for a 6th consecutive game. They ended up winning that game convincingly.
You know what? I was covering them that year. I was covering Texas. That's why I wasn't here. So next year I came back over and started covering the Aggies again.
I was living in San Diego at the time.
Anyway, I just remember being like, seeing that on television, going, oh my God. Really? No joke. Who else could do that? Who else would, first of all, have the idea and then to pull it off? Because that took so much.
Students. I mean, it was the students.
But really, and I'm not an Aggie. I don't wear the ring. I wish I did.
I can't wear it right now because of a broken finger.
Nobody else, no other student body anywhere would have been able to pull that off.
America. By the way, this student body, hopefully you'll come out to the Texas A&M football celebrity softball game. Do you know about this?
I know about it. You playing in it?
No, I'm not.
I think Lucci's out there taking hacks.
He might. Bronny for sure is going to try.
Yeah.
He'll come out with his glasses, his hat, and his glove. That's going to happen. Anyway, it's from 5 to 6 today, a player autograph session and backpack giveaway.
Okay.
Who doesn't love a good backpack?
I like them.
People make fun of my backpack because it's huge.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you look like you're going to wander through the Alps.
You never know what
months.
You're going to need, right? Like sometimes I may have to bring technology that you don't expect. I like to be a minimalist when I travel. Got a big backpack for that.
He does. Yeah. Got a big pack.
I don't put dead bodies in it. I just put equipment. Sorry for saying that.
He looks like he's on a hike. On a hike.
6 to 7, the home run derby.
Okay.
And 7 to 8, slow pitch softball. If you could do me a favor, Munson, please look up who is going to be in the home run derby. I know it's on the release. I'd like to know the names of those.
So we can bet on the guy. No, not really betting. It's only for entertainment purposes. But
I think Terry Bussey's in it, and if I remember correct, didn't he play baseball, or am I making that up?
Well,
he's an athlete.
I'm sure he did. I mean, you're in Templeton. It's like being at White Oak. He played everything.
Marco Jones.
Marco Jones, yeah.
Yeah, now that's a baseball player.
Or how about somebody like Formby?
Oh, I can see Formby being great at
who else is huge? DJ Hicks.
DJ Hicks, potentially, yeah.
Do you have he has a lot of power.
Yeah, Cody Armstrong.
Cody!
Well, he has strong arms, so I would expect him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Terry Bussey, Brady Hart, Isaiah Horton, and Marco Jones.
My money's on Marco Jones.
I'm going with Marco Jones on that one. Yeah.
My money's on Marco Jones.
Because wasn't he a baseball player, he, at A&M and football? Like he wasn't. Was he doing it at the same time?
Well, he was recruited for base, but he didn't. He has not played baseball here.
The smart money's on Marco Jones.
Yeah. Let's talk Big Ten Media Days for a second, shall we?
Let's do.
All right. Are you familiar with your good friend Brett Bielema?
Oh, Bert. Yeah.
He had a good run at Arkansas, didn't he?
Define good.
By good, not good?
Yeah. I think, did they have one decent season? You know, he literally fell down, I think, walking to the stadium 2000. I think it was 2013 when they played up there. I think he was the coach.
He fell down?
Before they were playing A&M. They're walking down with like the patrol, the state troopers on either side of him for protection, and he just face plants.
Did he trip on something?
I don't know. I don't know this for a fact because I wasn't the one hanging around with him, but there was some talk that every now and then he might have,
had a lot of catalyst.
Might have tipped the glass a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Not catalyst. You're saying
not catalyst. Had he won catalyst, he would have got there before everybody.
He would have been awake and ready to roll. Well, by the way, I've read the quote we're about to hear.
Yeah.
It reads kind of like he's trying to take a dig at Greg Sankey. Let's listen to it, and maybe we'll have a different vibe or a different feel from it. Here's Brett Bielema yesterday at Big Ten Media Days in Chicago.
I spent a couple of years in the SEC, was with Slive, and then transitioned to Sankey. And I just think about it now. Everybody's going to have opinions, and obviously they're going to draw the Big Ten, SEC, and all that. goes around about that. But to sit in the room with both of those guys, I think with Tony and the vision and experience that he has, and to be in the room where Sankey, I know he's got to protect the SEC, and they kind of want to live in 2005 forever. But I think the forward thinking of where we are in college football is an awesome thing.
Okay, so not nice. First off, you don't have to say that. I've never heard Sankey speak poorly about the TD at all. I haven't even heard the SEC coaches speak poorly. I'm curious. Look, you can hate Sankey. I know there's a lot of Aggies that do, right? I get it. But what has he done that makes you feel like he's trying to be stuck in 2005?
Well, you know, what he's saying is they're saying, look, we think that the SEC is still the strongest conference. He's always pushing for gosh, I'm having a hard time today. To make sure there are 4 SEC teams, automatic bids in the playoff, because he's pushing the strength of schedule, and because it says our conference is so much stronger than some others.
So far, I agree with everything he has said, though.
Right, and so the Big Ten, having won the last 3 national championships, are like saying, "Oh yeah, you're bad." You're talking about how strong your conference is. Look, we've won the last 3 championships. Sure. You're living in the past. To me, if I was having that argument, that debate, and I needed a visual aid to make my point, it would be Brett Bielema.
Exactly.
Because you were really successful in the Big Ten at Wisconsin.
Yep.
You were really you're pretty successful.
You're nicely successful.
You're like the 4th winningest team in the Big Ten
right.
since he's been at Illinois. But you suck eggs while you were at Arkansas. I mean, you were terrible.
Never tried that.
You had a big lead. Oh, you had a lead over A&M with just like 4 minutes to go, and thought, I think I'll kick off to Christian Kirk. You suck. You're an idiot. So that would be my visual aid.
Now,
you fell down on the way to the game.
You can make that point, I believe, about on the field. You're stuck in 2005 saying that you're still the best conference. But when he says forward thinking, I feel like outside of 16 versus 2014 playoff, which, by the way, is not 2005 thinking. 2005, they weren't even talking about playoffs. Okay? In my opinion, they're pretty much aligned with what they want to do in the future. The Big Ten and the SEC.
I think the big argument is, as far as the playoff goes, 24 versus 16. But as far as like this protect
college sports
act, I think they're kind of on the same page with that.
Yeah. So
that's why I say Brett Bielema, Bert, is probably referring to the one guy's trying to say, we think we're still the strongest conference. And the way I look at it is, if Hank Aaron, if he was in your lineup, man, you got the best guy in the lineup.
Yep.
But it was just one guy in the lineup. So if you looked at the whole 9, the Braves with Hank Aaron didn't typically have the best hitting lineup. You might as probably in Cincinnati or LA, right? And that's the SEC with the stronger lineup. But right now, with them winning championships, they got the biggest back.
The stronger lineup, the better team each year, the last 3 years, has been from the Big Ten. And they deserve credit for being the best team in the country. It does not, there were years, I'm trying to think, in the NFL, there was a run where the NFC East was the best conference or division in football.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't always win the Super Bowl.
Right.
It did not mean that wasn't the hardest division in football.
Right. But you know what? I've said this before, but the Big Ten deserves to crow because they've won 3 in a row. Victor goes the spoils. And the fact of the matter is that the SEC, when they were winning 7 in a row and like 10 out of 11 or whatever it was, they lorded that over everybody. So if you're going to dish it out, you got to take it.
Sure. But I think there are 2 different arguments.
But there are 2 different arguments.
One is, you guys have had the best team 3 years in a row. And you have the top tier of your team right now is better than the top tier of the SEC. But our worst teams would crush your worst teams. Our worst teams could potentially beat your best teams.
Yeah.
Maybe not the worst teams, but that middle to lower tier.
Right. I just think that,
do you think A&M would like to play Syracuse?
Syracuse?
Yeah. No, maybe not Syracuse.
Well, maybe, sure, I'll play
I'm just trying to think of teams around the country and conferences that if A&M played in the Big 12, we would love to play Iowa State. And Iowa State's had some good years. I'm saying from a compared to SEC standards, Iowa State's pretty good. Let me give a different example.
Well, they wouldn't mind playing them.
They wouldn't mind playing though, yeah.
Let's have Todd Blythe out there. Sorry, guys. Sorry for bringing that up.
In the Big Ten, pick a team of Illinois. You said fourth or fifth?
Yeah.
Who do you think A&M would rather play, or anybody in the SEC? The fifth best team in the Big Ten, or the fifth best team in the SEC?
I think A&M would definitely take the Big Ten team.
Okay. ACC?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a layup.
That's the only point. Okay. My only point about it is these are teams that you can still be the national champion and get all the love that you get, and you should deserve it. We'll give it to you. I think the Indiana story is one of my favorite stories I've seen in college football.
I rooted for them.
Yeah, I did too. But it's still a gauntlet.
Yes. Yes, it still is, and I think you would have a better chance, in my opinion, of winning 10 games, of having a 10-game season, in a 10-win season in the Big Ten than you would the SEC. Just my opinion.
All right, let's tell the people the name of the show. You can handle that part.
Oh, it's TexAgs Live. It's brought to you by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Yeah, thank you very much. In the Roller Insurance Studio, this hour we call it something.
We call it the Go Hour.
Yeah,
just this hour.
And
that's brought to you by the Warehouse at CC Creations.
Love the Warehouse at CC Creations. Oftentimes we start off the show over there. We call that the
Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
We like making money.
I like making money.
Who doesn't?
I want to make more.
Yeah. And let's see what else. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can do it multiple ways. One way is to call us on the what?
Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
Yes, exactly right. And that number is?
979-693-1150.
Exactly right. And you can also text us on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. That number is?
979-693-1150. 1150.
Let's go around the room and say hi to the people. We go left to right. We go behind the glass. We say hi to our dear friend, Nick Savage. Nick, good morning.
Howdy, good morning, y'all.
What's up?
Hey, well, if you want to learn more about the red, white, and blue out, we actually have it on TexAgs.com and on the TexAgs YouTube channel. It's a video, 5-minute video put out a couple years back before my time at TexAgs, but it's still a really good a video to learn about how it all came together. It'll be, like you said, kind of a last-minute deal. I believe they only ordered like 4,000 shirts originally, and they sold out of them so fast they were scrambling to figure it out. But it's called Aggieland USA, How Kyle Field Was Transformed into a Symbol of Patriotism. You can check that out again on TexAgs.com and on our YouTube channel. So if you want to learn more about it, go to that. And I'm looking forward to it too, because last time it happened, it was against Kent State. Stadium wasn't exactly full, but I think against Arizona State, the premier non-conference opponent coming into Kyle Field this year, it's gonna lead to a pretty cool looking red, white, and blue Kyle Field.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like that. Of course, I'm always appreciative and looking forward to displays of patriotism, especially today.
Yeah, let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. We check in again with Ashley Munson. Is today your last day?
It is my last.
What's up, bro? What's up with that?
I'm so sad. It's been so much fun.
Has it?
Yes.
Just talk about how sad she is while
but
flashing that big ultra bright smile.
I can't wait to get away from
like
these.
very smiley though. Like I love to smile. So.
What do you look like mad?
Like just.
Okay, do this segment mad.
Mad?
Mad or sad that you're leaving?
Oh, that's kind of hard. I don't want to be mad. I want to be happy because it's been such a joyful time. You guys crack me up. I love it so much. Also, talking about the red, white, and blue game, isn't your birthday like the day before?
A couple days before.
Yeah,
what is it? The 12th is the game. My birthday's the 10th.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. What an exciting time.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's a work day. It'll be a fun work day, though.
Yes.
As long as they win. There was that one birthday. Okay. Let's see. I think Appalachian State was a birthday. Fairly sure. That birthday sucked. A Mississippi State 21 was a birthday. That weekend sucked. ¿Qué más? Florida, Tampa with the flu. That weekend sucked, but was good.
Yeah, they
first
won.
road game that they had won in forever. What was last year, right around that time?
Look, I'm just stuck on thinking about you were born the day, consecutive days of disaster,
You know who else was born on my birthday?
Who?
Arnold Palmer.
You know what? I can't say. I was born on December 7th, So, at least you weren't on the day, two of the worst days of American history,
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me. I appreciate that. Munson, what else?
But I want to talk about Aggie football. I thought this was really cool. The Aggie football page posted on Instagram that 3 Aggie football players were baptized. I don't know if it was Monday night or Tuesday, but Cohen Eccles, Jesse Chukwu, and Landon Rink were baptized, which I thought that was
awesome. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Speaking of Cohen Eccles, did you see that great video on TexAgs?
Which one?
That was up right now.
Oh,
Marco
the fishing
Jones, Wilkin Formby, Cohen Eccles out there catching fish with
Kyle Nagley.
He's such a big deal. I used to call, because I was finding out, and I said, well, that's Kay Nagley's brother, but now I think she's Kyle Nagley's sister.
This is exactly right.
Yeah.
This is exactly right.
How to be known.
Shout out to Steve and Lori and the team. They're great. All right, let's do this. Let's talk little 1775.
Okay.
Hit a break and come back with 25 and 25.
All right, let's do that.
All right, and we'll be at number 23, by the way.
Okay.
Do you know who it is?
I don't.
I'll tell you in a moment. All right. 1775. I like good food. You like good food. I like good experiences. You like good experiences. I like good people. You like good people. So far, I'm describing the place.
Yeah, we're talking about 1775. Look, this is you all know, you got my wholehearted endorsement for 1775. My son is going to be leaving. We're going to be taking him to Arizona so he can start his new career. But, we talked last night about, hey, last lunch here probably needs to be at 1775.
There's no probably. It needs to be.
You got to go out with the best Texas barbecue Texas has to offer. That would be 1775, where you get the succulent brisket, the amazing pork ribs. You get that scrumptious jalapeno cheese sausage. You get the turkey. In fact, my son's last time he was there, he ordered the turkey.
Did he get it?
Yeah, because he's fit. And then of course the queso mac and cheese, as well as all kinds of other sides, other meats, and you can get a big ass baked potato stuffed with brisket, because the wife has gotten that before, and then she couldn't even finish it, so I had to finish it because she knows I'm big guy, I can always eat.
I think the name of 1775.
Desserts even.
Oh, the desserts are great, and I'm not even a dessert guy, but I get them there. It should be called 1775 and leftovers, because you will leave with leftovers.
You will, and that's a great thing,
because there's a lot of food.
Then you can have it for dinner.
Yeah, we've done it before. 1775 txbbq.com, or call them up 979-492-6241. It is 1775,
and it's good.
Hey, we're back. TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studios. The Go Hour presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Time for 25 and 25 presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary firm serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com. Number 23 in our 25 for 25 OB is Ricky Gibson III.
Well, I hope that he is
much higher.
Much higher.
Yeah.
And from hearing people that have actually seen him play, there's a very good chance he will be if we did like a postseason ranking. I was talking to a guy I really respect. We all really respect Chris Lowe.
Yeah, I like Chris.
SEC reporter. I think I don't even know who he's working for now because everybody bounced on 3 now.
Yeah.
And he lives in Knoxville, and I respect his opinion. And we were talking probably not more than 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I asked him about Ricky. He said, "Man, he's a really good player, but was injured almost all of last year."
Yep. He got hurt, I believe, in the first game, second quarter. Yeah.
So
he missed an entire year, and that's the big question.
But if you'll go back to his 2024 season,
he was excellent.
He had 32 tackles, broke up 5 passes, forced a fumble. I mean, he was a really good player for them. So if look, a lot of guys come back strong from injury now. So I'd expect him to come back strong and replace Will Lee.
Yep, also the third.
Right. And there you go. I hadn't thought about that.
You go from RG3, get it, to, WL3 to RG3.
It's fine. This has nothing to do with this segment, but just remember the great Chris Mortensen?
Of course.
And I heard him talking about when the Redskins, they were the Redskins then, drafted RG3.
Yeah.
And you know who he's supplanting as quarterback there, I think, was Rex Grossman. He said, so they're going to RG3 and moving past RG3 and out. But
that's pretty well played.
Yeah, it was excellent. Yeah, I give credit where credit is due. But speaking of giving credit where credit is due, Ricky Gibson is a guy that what he showed in 2024 just captured the imagination. Yes. He didn't even play in the first game that year, which was against Chattanooga. Imagine that. I could have maybe padded some stats in that one. But all the things I hear, and it's all based on what I hear, because I've never seen him play, but based on the opinions of people that know, that have seen him. They say, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, he and I believe if he doesn't get hurt last year, he's probably in the NFL right now. So you have a guy now here that could have been
ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't necessarily read into PFF. I know a lot of people love PFF. Some people don't even like PFF. But I'm just going to tell you what his grade was, which is very good. It was a 76.3 in 2024. So just knowing that PFF values what he does there at the corner spot. And again, if he's great, fantastic. But Julio Humphrey had a great spring. We heard Coach Oko talk about him on Saturday at PKO. You've got 2 guys that could potentially be there, that they'll fight for that spot. And at the very least, you're going to be very deep. I think Ricky Gibson is going to have a standout year. I do.
Well, I hope you're right. And again, all indications are he's healthy. So the people that have seen him play, I mean, Tennessee had him in the starting lineup for a reason, right?
Yep.
And Mike Elko has said, this is the best defensive backfield secondary that I've ever had while at Texas A&M.
I wonder why he thinks that.
And Ricky Gibson obviously would be a big part of that, especially because I think we all expect him to be a starter.
When he was entering the portal, I this morning I was kind of going back and reading stuff about Ricky, and it said at Tennessee he frequently lined up in the right side and played man coverage within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, not always a traditional press and jam corner, instead often allowed to release and then use his lateral quickness, his speed, his length, and his hand placement.
Hey,
all things you want from your cornerback.
Whatever it takes to get the job done. All I want to do is see him knock down some passes, intercept some, and be a sure tackler.
So
that's all I ask.
So we talk so often about the offensive line and bringing in guys with SEC experience, right? You're doing that at the cornerback spot, right? Julio Humphrey last year came in. He's got a lot of starting experience at Georgia. Ricky Gibson. So you've got guys that have seen, maybe not these quarterbacks per se, because there's so many new quarterbacks, but have seen the atmospheres, the offenses that we get here.
The receivers.
The receivers. There you go.
Because, I mean, you just look at the NFL draft over the course of the last, 10 years and how many receivers get taken early out of the SEC. So maybe and I'm not saying this is the case, but maybe press coverage, maybe he's not good at press coverage. So if you're not, I'm not saying he's not, but if you're not, then why would you be up in press coverage and a guy, sheds you and gets behind you? But if you can play off and you can really run fast and have great ball skills, which I hope he does.
Yep. And anyway, Coach Elko has talked about that group in total.
Absolutely.
And he is, I believe, a big part of that group. We know what we have with Des Ricks, and I do think Des Ricks takes another big step. I think we've seen him do that.
When I found out that Des Ricks played last year with a torn labrum, any thoughts I had that might have been negative, I said, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. What it does is, what's he doing out there playing with a torn labrum? What a tough guy.
Mental
have you ever torn your labrum?
Physical toughness, yeah.
Have you ever had a torn labrum?
No, I've never. I might have one now, but no.
I haven't either, but I know people that have, and they talk about how painful it is. I mean, but you go out and still play with it. Yeah, I think the cornerback position is going to be in pretty good shape for the Aggies this year.
I wrote this down this morning. When we look at the secondary, you've got experience from Tennessee, from Alabama, from Georgia, from Washington, from Colorado, the Texas A&M, right? Like, so, and I consider Des Ricks kind of a both, right?
San Diego State's in there too.
San Diego State,
you're going with the more the big name town places.
Yeah, but San Diego State, and that guy, to me, he falls in. He developed here. I mean, I'm sure he developed there. I don't mean that as a shot to San Diego State, but we've seen him grow up here.
Back in the 70s, San Diego State had a cornerback who was a first-round draft choice of the Green Bay Packers. You know what his name was?
In what year?
Like 72 or something
I have no clue.
Willie Buchanan.
Willie B?
Willie Buchanan. Yeah.
Willie Beeman. Remember that movie?
He's All-American.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never underestimate a Buchanan. That spells his name with an O.
Oh, well, he's from a different sect.
Different tribe.
All right, let's hit a break. We're going to come back. I want to go through a couple things in the Big Ten, all right? I'm going to ask you some of the biggest questions in the Big Ten that from their Big Ten media days, just questions you might have from that conference since they are on the podium this week, okay? And I'll just throw you a question. Like, I'll give you an example of one question I may ask you.
Okay.
Does Kyle Whittingham make Michigan a threat again? Okay. Last year they weren't very good. They got a good coach, though.
I do like him.
So that kind of stuff we'll have on the other side. Penn State, are they back? Are they back, OB? We'll talk about it. Right now, let's talk Rollo Insurance. Who are the people at Rollo Insurance?
Oh, Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan.
Yeah.
Everybody's best friend, Morgan.
I bet you they got a Pablo that works there somewhere in one of the offices.
I bet they do.
Yeah. A Jim.
Oh, Jim, without a doubt.
For sure.
I'd bet heavily on that. I'd bet as heavily on them having a Jim as I would on Marco Jones winning the home run derby.
A Jenny, they're for sure.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Because they got women there.
They got it all.
They got it all.
They're in 60.
Wait, is there anything more than men and women?
Dogs. I'm sure there's somebody who works there that brings his dog to work. Facts.
I'm glad that was your
speculation. Answer. That's anyway. What does this have to do with Rollo Insurance? They're just normal people from Texas in College Station, their headquarters. The best insurance. I love them. You'll love them. Jason is a dear friend, loves Aggie sports, you name it. He's at every event. Jackson the same way. I'm going to tell you, you're going to love the insurance you're going to get because you're going to get a personal agent who's going to take care of you. That's what you need to know. Call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That is 888-44-ROLLO. Or go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs.
I'm Wes Mangan, and I live on a piece of property with my wife and 2 boys and several animals. I work in oil and gas, and I travel a lot, and so when I come home, it's like my sanctuary. I get to see Lauren and the boys, and it's been just a perfect fit for us, and it's really improved our family time. And this is the first land I'd ever purchased, so dealing with the land side of things and dealing with Capital Farm Credit was super easy for us through the whole process. I definitely feel like with Capital Farm Credit, together we are better.
At Brazos Valley Floor and Design, the Morrow family has helped Bryan College Station homeowners remodel with confidence for over 25 years, backed by the Adore Your Floor guarantee.
When you're ready to update a kitchen, refresh a living room, or renovate the whole house, come see the latest in flooring, from designer carpet to laminate, luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, and tile.
We're 2 generations, hands-on from design to installation.
Brazos Valley Floor and Design, best floor and design since 1999.
And that's a promise.
We're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. He's Olin Buchanan. He's my friend. And I'm David Nuno.
David Nuno.
Hey, let's talk Big Ten Media Days.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw you some questions.
All right.
All right. We don't cover the Big Ten the way the Big Ten guys do. But I think the big teams there, obviously we know enough about them. And in this world where there's a strong possibility you could play an elite Big Ten team in the college football playoffs. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. Do you think Kyle Whittingham in year one makes Michigan a playoff threat again?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Number one, I have seen nothing because I only have to base it on last year, and he could get better. But number one, he's dealing with a way overrated quarterback that's not that good, or last year wasn't. So unless Underwood has made, is it Underwood?
Yeah, Bryce Underwood.
Unless he's made a step forward, and can he? And look, the He's got a coach that's had some success with quarterbacks, but unless he makes this gigantic step forward, they'll probably be about what they were last year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a playoff contender.
Okay.
I do. What were they last year? Can you look that up? I think they were 9-4, and I think they were.
Michigan. That Michigan team being 9-4 is a perfect example of my argument about the SEC being a deeper team.
Yeah, no doubt.
A deeper league.
I think they went 9-4.
I think Texas beat the living daylights out of them.
I think they went 9-4.
So did Oklahoma.
With an incompetent head coach and just stuff going around the program, right? I think Kyle Whittingham has done so much in his career with less.
I would have to say, you know what I didn't do is I'd have to look at their schedule.
Yeah, I don't have it. In fact, I'll look it up right now.
If they got a schedule that's really soft, obviously they got to play Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State.
Let's play the game. Let's play the schedule game, right? This game is great during the summer.
Okay.
All right. Western Michigan week
I'm
one.
giving them a win.
Hosting Oklahoma.
They're going to lose that game.
Okay, 1-1. Hosting UTEP.
They're going to win that one.
Hosting Iowa.
Since they're at home, I'll give them that one.
3-1. They go to Minnesota.
4-1.
They host Penn State. 50-50 game.
It is 5-1. Since we're talking to them, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at home. 5-1.
Hosting Indiana.
They lose 5-2.
They go to Rutgers.
6-2.
They Michigan State. They host them.
7-2 at home.
They go to Oregon. They get slaughtered.
7-3.
They host UCLA.
8-3.
Ohio State. They lose.
8-4.
8-4.
8-4.
So not better than they were last year.
Huh?
So not better than they were last year.
Yeah, I think they'll be about the same as they were last year. And remember, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on any game that they're at home on.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be
Are
about
there
what they were
any of the games you had them losing that you could, like, you gave them Penn State, you did give them Iowa.
I gave them Minnesota. I gave them every home game.
But I believe they were 7-2 heading into the Michigan-Oregon game.
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder what that does for a team that late in the season being in playoff contention on November the 14th.
Well, I mean, that may get better.
Yeah.
But today, I'm sitting there thinking I think they'll be about the same as they were last year. Look, a great coach can only do so much. That's why I've seen coach. That's what Nick Saban was 6-7 in his first year at Alabama. Dare I bring up Bill Belichick?
That program is a disaster.
It really is. So a great coach can only do so much.
All right. Penn State. How back are they with Matt Campbell this first year?
I don't think they're going to be back, and I'll tell you why. Let me ask you, where do you think Iowa State would have finished in the
SEC?
In the Big Ten last year? Iowa State.
Iowa State in the Big Ten, 8th.
8th?
Yeah.
Well, basically, they're Iowa State. He brought, how many of his guys from Iowa State did he bring?
He brought a bunch, yeah. But
like 20 of them?
They kept some Penn State players, too.
Yeah, I know. And, some players from a very disappointing team.
Mm-hmm.
But most of his good players, they had players that left through the draft, had players that left to go with Franklin. And then he's got the guys from a team that underachieved, and then a bunch of guys from also ran in the Big Ten. So I mean the Big 12. So why am I going to think that's going to be?
I understand your logic there. I don't want to do this for every team, but I do want to do their schedule game with you real quick, just because I've read that their schedule was very manageable this year in the Big Ten. Right. So I haven't looked at it. Temple to start off 1-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they host Buffalo 2-0. Then they host Wisconsin.
So I'm going to give them if they're home, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on all of those. 3. So 3-0.
They go to Penn State. No, Antosaka.
You mean they go to Northwestern? You mean?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't care about Northwestern. They're 4-0.
4-0. They host USC.
4-1.
Okay, 4-1. They go to Michigan. 4-2.
4-2. Did it? Yeah, because I gave Michigan 4-2.
Purdue goes there.
They're 5-2.
They go to Washington.
5-3.
They host Minnesota.
6-3.
They host Rutgers.
7-3.
And they go to Maryland. We missed a game somewhere.
8-3.
There must be 9-3 if you only have 3 losses.
I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But that ended the schedule. Gosh, how nice would it be to close out your schedule like that?
Yeah. Again, that's the whole Big Ten SEC thing.
Yeah. I mean, this is the end of their schedule. Hosting Purdue, going to Washington, difficult for Big Ten standards, I guess.
Washington usually has a solid team.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, hosting Minnesota, Rutgers, and Maryland. Rutgers.
And Maryland. The only SEC team I've ever seen Maryland beat, and they weren't in the SEC yet, was Texas.
I'm going to ask you one other question on the other side about the Big Ten, and then we're going to keep you for a few minutes.
All right, sure.
All right, right now, if you're looking for real peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales commissions, no product sales, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA, and the CPA all on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build a future that you can feel good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. All right, we're closing it out here on the Go Hour, but OB's like, I'll stick around for like 7 to 12 more minutes. Anyway, or 18 minutes. Let's finish our Big Ten talk for a moment. So is this the final run for Lincoln Riley and USC? He's got a big contract, so I don't know. But if he is not a playoff, if they're not a playoff team this year, do you think they cut bait?
Yeah, I think it's probable they would. They got a lot of money. They can cut him loose and pay him off. Let's say they go 8-4 and don't get in. I just don't see how they keep him. You don't pay a guy that to lose. You brought him in because you thought, man, we got the home run hire. This is the coach is going to take us back. He's going to be our next John Robinson or John McKay or, all those great coaches. This is going to be the guy. He's not.
He's not the guy. Look, I know USC beat A&M a couple years ago in the bowl game. I don't think that matters when I make this comment. But Coach Elko in 2 years has had significant more success than USC's had with Lincoln Riley in this will be his 5th season there?
Right. I mean, they're to the point. Just thinking about what it says when USC says, no, we don't want to play Notre Dame. USC is saying we don't want to play Notre Dame.
He said yesterday he does want to play Notre Dame, but I know what they said a couple months ago.
Yeah, because they're saying they don't want to play Notre Dame because it's going to make it harder for them to get into the playoffs. And it's true. It does make it. But that's the game you play every year. And, yeah, I know Texas and A&M didn't play. They weren't playing because they were trying to make an easier path to the playoff. There were other reasons. But
and A&M did try to play it.
But they did. I mean, just when you're a proud program like USC and you start canceling games against your longest rival because it's too hard. And I guarantee you, I can't say this for certain, but I would suspect that Lincoln Riley was back there going, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's get rid of USC and let's play Cal Davis or somebody like that. Yeah, because help my job be.
If I said this in front of Josh Pate, and I'm going to say it in front of you, you guys would be like, what a loser.
Okay.
All right? I'm not saying I'm in favor of the 2014 playoff.
Okay.
But I am more open to it than I used to be. And we probably don't have time to tackle my whys right now. Maybe we can get into it a little bit in there. But I'm starting to be more open to the idea because there isn't a perfect solution that works. We all want to hold on to what it was. And there's a part of me that's like, you know what? I'm open to it. I was completely against it. And I don't think it's the best solution. I think you like 16, right? If I remember correctly.
I'm kind of like Mike Elko. It's supposed to be hard,
yes.
And that's okay. But I think 16 is the perfect number. Actually, I thought 8 was the perfect number, but 16 is the perfect number. As I've said before, I don't like one team having to win like 4 games to be national champion, and another team only having to win 3.
I understand that. The reason I bring that up is Lincoln Riley says it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And I kind of think it is going to happen.
He's hoping so.
I think it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I do think it's going to happen. But anyway, that's why I brought it up with Lincoln Riley. We'll hit a break. We can tackle it a little bit more. Then I want to do one-word answers about teams in 2026 in the SEC. I'll say LSU. You say they suck. Whatever. That's more than one word.
Okay.
All right. And then you can give me your why behind that word.
All right.
All right. We'll do that on the other side. You're listening to the world-famous and world-class TexAgs Live. The extended go hour here on TexAgs Live. We're going into the 9 o'clock hour. It's the summer months, so we're giving our guests a little bit of a breather. OB said he'll stick around. So 2026 football season is coming up in the SEC. I'm going to just go through all the teams. Okay? I'm just going to throw you a team. You give me a one-word answer about what you think about them in 2026.
It's like one of those psychiatrists things, right?
And then you'll expand on why you used that word.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, and you can do typical OB funny stuff, or you can be analytical. Whatever comes to your mind.
Whatever comes to mind.
All right. And have you ever seen the movie Something About Mary?
I have.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Look, guys, let me find this. If there's ever any question about what substance is in my hair, it's Axe wax.
Axe wax.
Sire. That's the only thing that
what does it say under it?
It says, messy look. Decoy. Is this French or something?
Axe. Matt, is that how you say Matt? M-A-T-T-E?
Yes.
Wax seer, mate. Hey. Messy look, decoif.
Yeah.
That's not a bad word.
They're calling into question what kind of substances I put in my hair. And look, I'm not good at obviously self-grooming, so sometimes it doesn't work. But I guarantee you, that's the only thing that's going in there.
But just, I think your hair looks great.
Thanks.
Full transparency, I don't think you wear the messy look, though. Now you did. But, like, your hair look... All right, Something About Mary. All right, let's go through these teams in the SEC.
That was probably not the best thing to do on television.
Oh, it looks great. It looks very puffy. Like the puffy shirt from Seinfeld. All right, here we go.
Is it look? They're saying I look like Something About Mary, or if I don't put anything in, then they're saying I look like Uncle Rico.
Yeah. You can't win. You can't win.
All right, let's go.
Alabama, one word.
Overrated.
But I ask you why, Olin Buchanan?
Because they're still saying that they're going to be a playoff team, and I know they were a playoff team last year, but they were 9-3. And you look at all the players that were on that team last year that are no longer there, and I don't understand why they say, oh, they're going to be so much better because you're going to be better without Caden Proctor. You're going to be better with the center whose long name he was drafted. I know they think they're going to have a good defense, but you were 9-3 with a lot of that defense. You had a quarterback who's a first-round pick, and I'm going to be better without that guy. And yeah, it happens. A&M was better with Manziel, even though Tannehill been afraid. It happens. But are you banking on that happening all the time? You couldn't run the football last year.
Why are you going to run it this year? I know you.
You didn't even get to keep Hollywood Smothers because you had him, and then he went to Texas. And now you're counting on some freshman guy, which freshmen sometimes come in and have a great year. But I'm not banking on this freshman guy being Herschel Walker.
Oklahoma.
What's one word? Curious.
But I ask you why.
I'm curious about Oklahoma because, again, yeah, they should be good on defense. I get that. But they're counting on a bad offensive line being better just because they're saying, well, the guys are growing up some. And there's some legitimacy to that. I think their receivers are okay. I think they're I don't know. Their quarterback material, everybody's, hey, yeah, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. Everybody last year was talking about him being a Heisman Trophy. Oh, he hurt his thumb. He wasn't playing that great before he hurt his thumb. So I think the jury's still out on Mateer and that offense.
Georgia.
Hard-nosed. You know, they play hard-nosed football.
You use a hyphen, it works.
Yeah.
But I ask you why, Olin Buchanan?
Because they always do. They play a certain amount kind of football. I think they're going to be really good on defense. Stockton's he's a gamer, hard player. But you look at that offense, like, what's special about it? You know, they'll be good. They'll be good. They're a hard-nosed, physical team.
Okay. Arkansas.
Hopeless. I can't think of any reason to feel like Arkansas is going to be any better. In fact, they could be worse. They don't have their quarterback was pretty good last year. They had a running back, that Washington kid who transferred to New Mexico State, Mike Washington, he's a good player. And he went into, he was taken in the 4th round of the draft. So I know that's just 2 guys, but you take those 2 guys off that team. I think they had one offensive lineman, Carmona. I don't think he's there anymore. I just don't see it.
Kentucky.
Scary.
Unknown, right?
Yeah, very, new coach, but there was a team that damn near beat Texas last year. I'm glad that A&M gets them at home. I wonder if they're a team that plays just a lot better at home than they do on the road.
Mississippi State.
It's like password where you try to, you can only say the one word, but you try to better.
But what does that mean?
Better. Yeah, I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last year. Levy will probably get them to be a little bit better, but does that mean you're the 15th? You go from being like the 15th worst team to 14th, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. All right, we move on to Missouri.
Consistent.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Missouri, they're not going to, I don't think that they're going to be legitimate contenders for the conference championship. I think they're not going to be bad. They're going to be that team that gets in one of those obscure, one of those other bowl games, They'll probably be in the Mayo Bowl or the Pop-Tart Bowl or something like that.
Let's move on to a team A&M is going to play this year.
Okay.
That team is South Carolina.
Playoff. I've already been told they're going to be in the playoffs. We've all been told they're going to be in the playoffs. So South Carolina, I'm going to be flapping my wings. The thing is, chickens, they can flap their wings all day long and they don't fly.
What if they do make the playoffs?
Then I have to issue an apology and say, well, you know what?
That dude knows what he's talking about.
Shane knew.
I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, and I don't think I'm going on a ledge there. But I worry about that game for A&M for obvious reasons.
Well, in all my years covering A&M and all the times I've gone to South Carolina, I think it's been easy twice. One time was the 2020 COVID year when they just blew them off the field. And then the very first game.
The SEC Network game?
Where Kenny Hill just riddled them. But other games where A&M clearly had a better team, you're sweating it out to the end.
Right.
And then they've lost the last 2 there. Need to get off to a better start. They go to South Carolina lately, or even not going. Playing South Carolina lately, you've
3 straight years
you've got off to a bad start.
Yep, you have. Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt is interesting to me. I like their coach. This 5-star quarterback that was once committed to Georgia. I know people there that I respect their opinion and say, look, this guy's the real deal. He's better than Pavia. And I don't doubt that he might be more skilled than Pavia, but is he going to be the gamer that Pavia was? So I'm interested in him. I'm not ready to say they're going to go fall back into the mire of mediocrity where they typically live, but I don't know if they're going to be as good as they have been. So I'm kind of interested in.
Interest is a good word for that. I agree. Let's go Tennessee.
Tennessee is. I'm skeptical. I'm told they're good everywhere except quarterback. And we'll find. And Heupel usually has at the very least a competent quarterback. I mean, this time last year, this Aguilar guy, what's he going to be?
He had a really good year.
He was better than the previous guy.
Yeah, and the previous,
but they really worked hard, and I would too. They really worked hard to try to get him eligible, and it didn't work out for him. And I'm thinking, were you working that hard because you're thinking if we don't have a whole lot after that? I'm kind of skeptical of Tennessee. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to act like I'm Missouri. You got to show me. And you got to prove they're as good everywhere else as they say they're going to be, because that ain't Ricky Gibson out there on that corner.
No, it's not Ricky Gibson. Let's go to the next team, the University of Texas.
insufferable. You would think, talking to everybody, that they went, 15-0 last year. I mean, we had been in the playoff if not for scheduling. If we scheduled somebody side, you'd have been in a playoff if you'd beaten 4-8 Florida. Why don't you ever bring up that? And you know what? That loss to 4-8 Florida, if you'd been 10-2, that might have knocked you out because people would have said, "Oh, no, wait a minute. Is there somebody else that's with 10 wins that deserves it more?" Notre Dame,
right?
Because not only did you lose to a 4-8 Florida, but you got damn lucky to get by Kentucky and Mississippi State. So, yeah, you're going to be good, and you're going to tell us how good you are, but you're always going to say you're better than you really are. And when the proof is there that hey, you're not everything you're made out to be. You have one good game here, one game there, but the rest of the year, you look pretty ordinary. Then they're going to say, well, you just don't get it. We're that bad. We're Texas. Okay.
So if I were to say that exact thing happened to Texas A&M last year, do you think we would have used the same defense for A&M?
What, insufferable?
No. The loss to Ohio State being the reason. Like, what do you? Still, it's the same resume. Okay.
Okay, but you could have put it.
But it was A&M.
No, because then A&M's 10-2.
No, the same resume as Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. Same resume as Texas. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Florida.
Right.
And who's the third one on my mind?
They lost. The third one was Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Okay, so you're going to give A&M a loss to Georgia and a loss to Notre Dame.
No. Texas' schedule.
Okay, Texas' schedule.
But it was A&M. I'm just saying, would you?
No, I would say that
same thing.
if you're 9-3, you shouldn't lose to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be very consistent on that. First of all, not any 9-3 teams are going to get in. That's why Sankey and everybody's pushing so hard for the, make sure that you get 4 teams. Strength of schedule and 4 automatic teams, at least. But no, I mean now, if you're 9-3 and another team is 9-3, and those are the only two, there's 11 positions,
right,
all out there, and there's 2 teams with 9-3, and one of your losses is to Ohio State. And it's just between, but you don't have a really bad loss. I mean, so I could say, yeah, that one of their loss, that loss was to Ohio State. You're supposed to look where they're ranked.
Right.
So yeah, then I could bump you up if that team also had a similar 4-8 team to beat you, right? It's kind of like why I always say I always thought that A&M should have been seeded 4 ahead of Texas Tech, because Texas Tech didn't have a win as good as A&M had over Notre Dame. Their best win was BYU, beat them twice. They did have a conference championship, but then you got to think about the conference. But they had A&M's worst loss, his only loss, was on the road against Texas, which was ranked really high. Texas Tech lost to Arizona State. Right?
Right.
Which one's better or which one's worse? See, so and that's kind of, and it didn't work out for A&M.
Yeah.
But in that kind of scenario, I'm like, look, is the team you beat or the team you lost to, is it better than the team your opponent that you're being compared against?
Right.
Is it lost? And so, yeah, if everything was the same and both teams were 9-3 and and both teams had a loss to it doesn't even have to be a 4-8, a 5, and a bad team.
Right.
Both teams lost to a bad team. Yeah, then I'm saying, well, yeah, but Texas lost to Ohio State. In that case, yeah, that'll put you over and make you the 12th team.
The next team, Florida.
Florida. What would I say about Florida? Unknown. You said it before. Uncertain.
Yeah.
Uncertain. I like the coach. Everybody likes the coach. Everybody liked the coach when Scott Frost was going to Nebraska. The whole country was signing off on that, and it didn't work out. Summerall looks like are we going to think Summerall's a great coach because he dropped 2 S-bombs at SEC Media Days? Look, he looks like he's a guy who's very well-spoken,
confident,
all those things.
Yeah.
Who's his quarterback? His team went 4-8 last year.
Yeah.
Can they be better than that? Yeah, but how much?
Ole Miss.
Just because
Intriguing.
They're intriguing. They're good. They're going to. You're not going to have that quarterback and that running back and be bad. Now, I know they got a guy in the defensive line pretty good too. I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year. Lane Kiffin is a heck of a play caller, and they played great in the playoff and everything. Are you going to do that for a whole season with Pete Golding as your coach? I don't think you're going to be as good.
Auburn.
Better. They sure are putting a lot of stock into a quarterback from a lesser conference.
Yeah.
And a coach from.
He had a really good year, but yeah, it's still.
It's a different animal. I'm not saying he's going to crash and burn. Plus, look away from that quarterback and look at everywhere else. They had a pretty good defense last year. A lot of guys from that defense aren't there anymore. They had some guys leave, like Cam Coleman. So better. They weren't bad last year. They had a bad quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. LSU. Volatile.
Could be. Yeah. LSU's just, it's.
An enigma?
Yeah, thank you. An enigma. Because I know Lane Kiffin's a good coach. I don't know that Sam Leavitt is a great quarterback. I don't know.
Does he have to be great with Lane Kiffin, though? Can he be just really good?
We say that, but, and maybe Lane Kiffin develops quarterbacks like Jackson Dart and some of the guys he's had before that turned out to be really good quarterbacks, but he had them for a long time. Not just 1 year, and he's been hampered by a hurt foot. But do we just know? Yeah, they got the big tackle from Colorado that everybody wants. They got that.
Yeah.
But that's only one spot in an offensive line. Do we know that offensive line is going to be better? He always finds receivers, so they'll be good there. And they're talking about how good their defense is going to be. Why? Weeks? Well, Weeks is back. Okay. Why else? Well, we got this great secondary. You had a great secondary. You lost A.J. Halsey and Mansour Delane.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take those two guys out
and be better.
And you're going to be better? I'm going to call BS on that. I'm not saying you're going to be bad. I know they got the 6'5" corner that's really good. That was a freshman last year, but there's about 3 or 4 other spots there. I'm not buying. So, yeah, they're an enigma to me.
Last one for you. Texas A&M.
Confident. They're confident. There's reason to be confident. Still not going to change what I've been saying. They're 8-4 until I see that offensive line with my own eyes. And I know, there are those that say, then you're not enjoying. No, I'm enjoying it, but I'm confident in Elko and Cushing and their staff. But the minute I see what looks like a effective offensive line coming together, I'm thinking 10-2.
Yeah. Good stuff, Obi. Thank you. Appreciate you. We'll hit a break. We'll come back. Open
Get my hair done.
Yeah.
Get my hair done.
You should probably watch a Ben Stiller movie too if you get a chance.
I think one of these young ladies should come in and start. I'm a big star now.
Yeah.
Do my hair for me and all that.
If there's a salon person listening to the show right now, come to the studio, cut Olin's hair. You can cut mine too if you want.
Come on, Becky Ramirez.
On the air. Yeah. Oh, come on.
But I don't need a haircut right now.
No, next time.
Okay, next time.
Right, you could be like, who was it that likes to get pedicures? Which coach was it? Did you see that?
It was Summerall, was it?
Yeah, it was John Summerall, yeah.
I've never had a pedicure, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to see if you do.
Irma says she wants us all to get pedicures when we're on vacation.
You should do it. Just don't take pics.
Yeah, my feet are kind of nasty.
I think we're ready to move on. I'm going to go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet now. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. If you're a business owner ready to take your operation to the next level, check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They've expanded their selection of commercial vehicles to meet your everyday need. They have service body trucks. They've got heavy-duty flatbeds, medium-duty trucks, you name it. They can handle those tough jobs, and they've got the muscle for your business demands. And they are now a newly designated business elite dealer, which means they understand what it takes to keep your company moving forward. And every commercial vehicle comes with that legendary free oil change for life because they believe in supporting local businesses like they support Aggie athletics. Remember, it's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. I think Brad Duncan on the YouTube page kind of sums it up for a lot of us. He says, I'm so excited about football season, but this schedule has me slightly less excited. And the reverse to that is, it has my attention. The schedule has my attention. I'm excited about winning big games. Like, I know that Georgia didn't love their schedule a couple years ago but they were beating teams. When you're good It doesn't matter. Like, yes, you want to. I think there's a happy balance, right? You don't want it to have the hardest schedule ever where you're statistically it's impossible to make it to the playoffs, right? For you to got to be on all cylinders. That being said, if A&M goes through this schedule, goes 10-2, just like last year, you're going to feel great about it regardless. So I understand where you're coming from, Brad. I'm just going to say that until proven otherwise, and I hope I'm never proven otherwise, I do think that A&M could go 8-4, 9-3 this year, and people are going to be mad. People are going to be excited. What does the product look like, right? What do the other teams look like? Is there an Indiana that we don't know about? Why isn't it us? I don't know. Like, who knows? Nick?
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, I think with this 9-game schedule going forward, no matter what, we're going to look at, A&M's draw every year and be like, okay, that's a tough SEC schedule. Oh, it's going to be tough. But, no, I mean, I don't think even in years past, looking at a schedule has made me less excited for a season, regardless of how I think A&M is going to do. I'm sitting at the 9-win range right now. I would take the over on the 8.5 currently. And if we go back to when Phil's still on the show, he's like, oh, they're favored in all but 2 games. I love to hear that. But yeah, if we looked at last year's schedule, we were thinking the same thing, but they did it. They went 11-1 in the regular season. I'll take that again all day.
Here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about going to Tuscaloosa as a college football fan and about what that game could mean. I'm excited about going to South Carolina because every time I've gone to South Carolina, I've had a terrible experience at the game. It is a cool atmosphere. Like I think, and maybe it's because A&M's lost those games, the best experiences I've been to in the SEC, well, let me rephrase that. Best is different. The most intimidating experiences I've been to in the SEC have been South Carolina, LSU, and maybe Tuscaloosa. And Tuscaloosa was a different kind of intimidating. A&M was a bad team, or kind of bad team. Is that the year they went 7-5? Maybe it was this 5-7 year. Whatever. And it was the 7-5 year. And that game came down to a play to Evan Stewart, but that environment was incredible. Look, you guys don't want to hear this. In the fourth quarter, the environment at DKR was crazy. It was like, I've been told that place is like a cocktail party sometimes, and I thought pregame, and I walked out there during the first quarter. It was kind of like, It was just like, it was a game. It was not bad. It was just, it wasn't like in that fourth quarter, those dudes were loud, right? So, but when I'm talking about intimidating atmospheres, South Carolina, Baton Rouge, and Tuscaloosa. Knoxville was great.
They have to go to all 3 this year.
Yeah. I have not been to Norman since 2009-ish. So I remember that was a great atmosphere too, but it's been forever since I've been to Norman. So, but yeah, I feel you. Like, the schedule is going to always give you pause though, guys. I mean, we're in an era that, like, Alabama's not running out of money. Tennessee's not running out of money. Oklahoma's not running out of money. Texas is not running out of money as of right now. They're going to keep investing in their programs. LSU's going to keep. So, like, this is it. This is what you signed up for. Which is why sometimes it makes sense to play in a rinky-dink conference. Because if you got all this money, you can play a bunch of bad teams. You'll get steamrolled in the playoffs, but you make the playoffs. But we should be excited about the opportunities if you believe in what the team is doing. What do you got for us, Munson, at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center?
What I thought was interesting, we talked about it a little bit, but the new game day suites. I think that's pretty cool. There's 50 private
Game day suites, Aggieland.
Yes, game day suites, Aggieland.
That went viral. Gabe Bach, just a magician on the Twitter.
I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yep, so I think it's about 5 to 7 minutes away from Kyle Field.
Yeah.
His tweet, which we saw that video at PKO for the first time, but his tweet has 5 million views on Twitter. And what's weird to me is, like, people took that and, like, got mad at it. You know what I mean? It's like other fan bases see that and just start crapping on it. It's like, what's there to be mad about? I don't understand that.
Well, here's
they're just jealous.
Well, there isn't a viral tweet in America or in the world that doesn't have mean comments.
True, I don't go viral like you, David. So I
don't go viral. I don't say that much controversial stuff. Josh Pate, who I think is one of the nicest human beings in the world, go read his Twitter sometimes. You love A&M. And they'll say some other things. You love Baton Rouge. And they say it like that. They hold the R. That's just what they do. Why did I say that with an accent? That's what they do. Anyway, if you do something that catches people's attention, I got to be heard. I got to let everybody know I hate it. I got to let everybody know I love it. I'm of the mindset, and by the way, I came close. I don't tweet that much. You guys know that, right? Nick, you know. But every day, I am very close to responding at people. And it's not even at me. Some people were coming at Gabe a little bit. It's not even at me. Like, when they come after Billy sometimes, I think I want to say something here. And I'm like, why would I do that? What good? I'm of the opinion, unless you have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Until I say something that's not nice. Then I'm okay with it. Basically, I'm a hypocrite. Thanks for looking at me and trying to figure out if you should say anything. One more thing, Munson, because we got to call Ryan McGee.
Yeah, so on my Instagram the other day, ESPN College Football posted this. Their percentages to make the college football playoffs and chance to win college football playoffs. The chance to make college football playoffs, Texas A&M was number 11 on that list at 39%, and chance to win college football playoffs, A&M was number 11 again with 3%.
So say that again. Their 11th best chance to win it all? And
yeah,
11th,
on the list.
And then 11th best chance to make it.
Mm-hmm. With 39% to make the college football playoffs and then chance to win.
Do you have the teams ahead of them?
Yes.
To make the college football playoffs?
Yes. So Ohio State to make the college football playoffs is number 1 with 76%. Notre Dame at number 2 was 74%. Texas at number 3 was 70%. Okay. And then chance to win, Ohio State again at number 1, 17% chance. Texas number 2, 13% chance. And Notre Dame at number 3, 11% chance.
Cool. Thank you very much there, Munson. We'll hit a break. We'll come back. Ryan McGee of the SEC Network and ESPN joining us. Try to catch up with him at SEC Media Days, but that place is a zoo. Right now we're talking Milliken Reserve. They are a farm-to-table community in College Station. They got homes. They got trails. They got farms. They've got wide open spaces. It's a great place just to be outdoors. If you like walking, if you like sunlight, if you like air, if you like trees, if you like deer, if you like rabbits, songbirds, turtles, if you just like being outdoors, go to Milliken Reserve. It's a great place just to hang out where you can go hiking, biking, canoeing, kayaking. They have equestrian trails. They have it all. They have evening yoga. If you like to do yoga or if you don't, you should. I don't, but I think you should. Anyway, check out the website, millikenreserve.com. That website again, millikenreserve.com. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, joined by SEC Network and ESPN's Ryan McGee. Saw him last week at SEC Media Days, but he was busy as we were all. Ryan, thanks for joining us here on TexAgs.
Yeah, y'all were too, man. Every time I got down to that end of the deal, at the end of Radio Row, you guys were hammering. So it was. It's always that week. When we're in the middle of it, it feels like it takes forever. But then when it's over, I'm like, oh, man, that was quick. It was good to see you guys just waving at you from a distance.
Yes, sir. Hey, so was there a team in the SEC that maybe you left feeling better about that you maybe thought going into Tampa?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting because I think we kind of forget that Oklahoma, made the playoff. I think, but because they were kind of the first half of the year, they couldn't kind of find themselves, and then they got on that run, that dramatic run in November. And I was one of those that resisted the expanded playoff. I thought 4 worked. I think when you got past 4, it's does the 6th team deserve to be in the thing? But then when I saw kind of the drama around Oklahoma scrambling their way in, then, and Mateer was hurt. So I think we kept waiting on them to fall off. And then all they did was kept winning. But, yeah, I feel better about them, I think, and spending time with Mateer. I love that dude. And I think he feels better. And physically he's fine. So that's a team that maybe I forgot about, quite honestly, that when I left Media Days, I thought, okay, we might be talking about those guys late into the season.
Talking to Ryan McGee here on TexAgs Live. Ryan, one of the things that I think a lot of A&M fans and analysts think about is A&M could be really good, but there's so many question marks at the offensive line and the defensive line, but we believe in what Coach Elko's doing. But that schedule is kind of, it's gruesome at the end of it. November's ridiculous. So your thoughts on A&M, what they have to overcome, and where they could be going?
No, that's it, man. The schedule is awful. And it's funny because, you guys know Marty McGee, we get to talk to all 16 coaches, and we do our coaching season specials. And we had Elko in there. We had Marcel Reed in there with us, who I love. It's easy to find on the internet how much I love Marcel Reed. But that schedule is the wild card, because you think about last year and the way that you start off undefeated and then you kind of trip over yourselves at the end of the year. The reality is, that South Carolina game, I mean, they pulled a magic trick out of their hat in that game. And so now you got to go to South Carolina, which is a hard out. That's after you're going to Alabama. I have no idea what Tennessee is going to be, but I know that won't be easy, even at home. And then Oklahoma, who I just talked about. And then, oh, by the way, the Texas game. So that's how you end the year. So I'm with you. I think the question marks that you mentioned, and I mentioned Marcel, what I want to see from him is I want to see a guy who can take control of the football game and can win it. Right now, he shows flashes of that. But what I want to see is when I talk to other people about him, their question is, can he be the difference in a giant football game? And I want to see some of that. And certainly by the time we get to November, he's going to need to be that guy.
Ryan, Tennessee is actually a team that I felt better about afterwards, and I'm going to tell you a couple reasons. First off, when Heupel took the podium, and he's like, look, I get a new quarterback every year. This is what I do. That made me feel like, okay. And then also just talking to the folks that cover Tennessee, and not even guys that are volunteer media, just in that area, they all think, hey, don't sleep on this offensive line. Do not sleep on this defense with Knowles. So it made me feel like maybe they're not an 8-win team. Maybe they're a little bit better than an 8-win team.
Yeah, and they got schedule issues too, which I guess we could probably say that about everybody, especially now they're going to 9 games, which all the coaches wanted to do, and now they act like they don't want it anymore. But yeah, I'm with you, and I think Knowles is the wild card and it's not just that Knowles is running the defense, but he brought a bunch of guys from Penn State with him, that know him, and to me that's it. To me, with this kind of transactional deal that we're living in, the question is always, it's not, is the kid good? We know he's a good football player, or not, is the coach good? We know the guy can coach. But the question is, can you ramp it up in 6 months' time? And so when a Knowles comes in and he's bringing a couple of guys, you're already returning a lot of good guys on defense for Tennessee, but then you're bringing in a handful of guys that you work with and that know you And that not only do they know you, they can look at all of the other guys' locker room and go, let me tell you what coach means here, because I've been with him for the last couple of years. And so any in you can get on that, I think, is a big deal. But, yeah, I feel that way about Heupel. All Heupel does is roll new quarterbacks through. Everybody, and you guys know I went to Tennessee. So this is the conversation I'm having with my wife and my in-laws and my college roommates. And I'm like, guys, there's a new quarterback there every year. And the reality is that, yeah, there's some hiccups every now and then, but for the most part, they keep moving the football. So, yeah, I think Tennessee is definitely on your list of who you felt better about when you're there. And I would put South Carolina in that group too. The game that obviously ripped the guts out of South Carolina was the loss to A&M a year ago. But the reality is they got Kendall Browsville in there calling the offense. And I love Mike Shula. He's a good guy, but he's boring on offense. And there's nothing boring about Lenora Sellers, the quarterback of South Carolina. So if we get the Lenora Sellers that that y'all saw in the first half of that A&M game, and that we saw, let's say, the Clemson game 2 years ago, that's a player that I don't think South Carolina is good enough to win the conference, but I think they're good enough to wreck it for a lot of other teams, and A&M could be on that list.
Ryan, another team on A&M's schedule that I'm confused about because of what I read about them. There's so many different thoughts on Alabama. Where I agree with things is when you got a first-year starter at quarterback, there could be some bumps and bruises. But I keep going back to they won a playoff game. They went to the SEC championship game, but they got embarrassed in the playoffs. So it's a team that I argue with myself about.
Yeah, and it's and the people in Tuscaloosa are arguing with themselves about it, right? They're and they're just spoiled rotten. That's what I tell you, Alabama fans. I'm like, y'all got to be kidding me. Yes, I mean, the playoff wasn't what you wanted it to be, but you're there and you're in an SEC championship game. But those spoiled rotten Tide fans, that's just not good enough for them. And those of us who went to other schools, we're like, man, we would trade for that right now. But I find myself rooting for that coaching staff because I like those guys, and I appreciate everything that they have to put up with that most other coaching staffs don't. Which is it's already Bear Bryant and Wallace Wade and Gene Stallings and all those guys, but then you're following Saban, and so the fact that those guys deal with what they deal with, and they deal with it as well as they do, and also reminder. This will be the second year for the offensive coordinator that, that these were the guys that took that Washington team that was a pretty good team, and they nearly won a national championship. So I'm with you. I don't know where I am on Alabama. And then you throw in the wild card of, you don't really know who the quarterback's going to be, and whoever it is going to be young. It's never easy for those guys. But I find myself rooting for that coaching staff just because I like them personally.
Ryan, yesterday, Lincoln Riley, said that he expects that a 2014 playoff is inevitable. Do you think it's inevitable?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly feels that way. I don't like it. I think that I get it, and all the coaches are pushing for it because, quite frankly, you hang that banner. How many times have you made the college football playoff? It's just like basketball teams telling you how many times they've made the NCAA tournament. It's not even about how far you go. It's about you being able to say that you made. You think about the relief of being able to say, if you're A&M, if you're Oklahoma, whatever, we made the playoff. Tennessee making the playoff 2 years ago. It didn't end the way they wanted it to, but at least you can say I was in the playoff, and that's all the coaches want. And by the way, they also get bonuses, right, if they make the playoff. So yeah, they're all pushing for it. But I don't know. I mean, does the 24th best team in the country deserve to be like in the playoff? And I love bowl games, and this is ultimately going to lead to the demolition of bowl games. And as a college football fan, I'm very conflicted about that because what I worry about is we're hearing coaches say we are NFL light. We're hearing coaches say, we're the minor league affiliate to the NFL. I mean, guys are just saying this stuff, and I don't like that because I'm a college football fan. So I want to do what I want the future to be is to preserve what the past has been while it's being forward facing. And as a NASCAR guy, right? I covered NASCAR my whole career. You got to be really, really careful about getting too far away from the sport that people fell in love with. And on paper, a 2014 playoff seems great, but the same people that whine to me about participation trophies are the ones that are now trying to defend college football playoff. I think it should be difficult to get into the postseason. And when you get to 24 teams, that doesn't feel that difficult to me.
Do you think, I think the Protect College Sports Act, it had to be all the revisions done by this morning. I haven't checked if anything's happened, but I gave up hope a long time ago. Have you given up hope on this particular run of it?
Yeah, I go back to what Mike Leach used to say to me. I hate politics. I hate when stuff starts going through Washington, it just becomes, it already wasn't fun. Now it becomes super not fun. And Mike Leach used to say to me all the time, yeah, Congress, they fix everything. So certainly they're going to fix this. That was like the last conversation I had with Leach was about that. And so I've never had a lot of hope in it. And everyone that I know, from Greg Sankey to Paul Feinbaum, who have gone to Washington and sat there and listened to these things, they don't leave very encouraged by it. And so, if it just gets us to some semblance of something, that's great. But in my experience, typically when things go through Washington, they get a lot more complicated than they do simplified, and that seems to be what's going on here.
Ryan, man, I really appreciate your time, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's talk soon, okay?
Anytime, guys. We'll see y'all, I think, pretty soon this fall, so looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it, Ryan. Ryan McGee, there on the Puppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. Appreciate his time. We'll hit a break. Final segment here of the 10 o'clock hour. Then we're going to do a little recruiting country. Right now, Heritage Films. So Chance McClain runs the company. He's the founder. He's the guy who kind of spearheaded it all. And they tell people stories. They do these documentaries. But like, my dad's going to be 96 here on the 31st in a couple days, right? And we got to do his Heritage film. I think it was year 2 at TexAgs. Maybe it was year 1. But it was awesome, right? And we're not promised tomorrow. None of us are. But it was really cool to go through that process with Chance, where he came and interviewed my dad, took pictures, videos, and got the whole story together. And then when we watched the 2-hour documentary a couple months later with my entire family, it was emotional. It was great, right? Hearing all his stuff. And I just say that to you as that could be your story too. Everybody has a story, and Chance is a wizard at telling that story. He's really creative and artistic, and you're just going to love the process, and then you're going to love the actual documentary itself. 2-hour documentary done by Chance McClain and his team at Heritage Films. The website is yourheritagefilm.com. Yourheritagefilm.com. 713-893-8341. That's 713-893-8341. It's Heritage Films.
Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promise of technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than it is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you, what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer.
As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggie Land since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. We got about 2 minutes left here in the hour before we go to Recruiting Country with Jason Howell. So let's talk to Ashley Munson at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Munson, what do you have for us on TexAgs today?
So on TexAgs today, we have Bronny sitting down with new Texas A&M pitching coach Barry Enright for an exclusive interview. Headed out on the water with our Gone Fishing video featuring a few of our Aggie linemen, Marco Jones, Cohen Eccles, and Wilkin Formby. Jason Howell's recruiting update sponsored by Frog Slayer. And then TexAgs later today, we have TexAgs United interviews with Ashton Funk, Trinity Buchanan, Tyshawn Archie, and Jalen Shelley. And also, don't forget, the celebrity softball game is tonight. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, be sure to follow our social media channels and visit the TexAgs website for premium coverage, highlights, and exclusive content.
Marco Jones going to win the home run derby. I'm really going out on a limb there.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. I was reminded Terry Bussey hit a few home runs last year in the derby that they had, so maybe a dark horse candidate there. Kate, does Maya Perez hit? No, she's not hitting. Okay, so yeah, Mac Barber will.
Mac,
so
let's go.
There's
Mac
your
wins it.
Yeah, maybe she does.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for this hour. We got a full hour to go here on a Wednesday. What is it, July 29th?
Yep.
Sometimes I don't say the date, and then I don't know what day it is. All right, we'll do Jason Howell on the other side, find out what's popping with that 27 recruiting class, that and more. You're listening to the world-famous TexAgs Live. And we are back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Recruiting Country. And that is brought to you by American Momentum Bank. American Momentum Bank, if I can find the copy, is the only privately owned bank headquartered in Bryan-College Station. They're committed to helping our community prosper by offering you a wide array of personal and business banking solutions, specifically designed to help build financial success with confidence and momentum on your side. And with that, we go to the Bumpy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Our buddy, Jason Howell. Jason, it's been a couple weeks, right? I feel like we haven't spoken in a couple weeks. Maybe it was just a week.
Yeah, we've had a lot going on. I went to New York. You were at SEC Media Days. And then I think we also had the kickoff event there with TexAgs this weekend. So I mean, it's been there's been a lot of activity since the last time we talked.
Yeah, buddy. Well, one of the things that I wanted to start off with, and I know we have some notes to get to, but one of the things I want to start off with, I don't know how much you were able to take in from PKO this past weekend, but I loved Coach Elko's bite. I wrote it down yesterday. I don't have it in front of me. When they asked him about the #1 recruiting class, and he's like, "Dude, I don't care. I don't care." Like he didn't say, "Dude." He's a lot more professional than I am. He's like, "I don't care. Because I'm not going to sell my soul to get, to do what you have to do to get the #1 recruiting class. I'm going to get really good football players that fit my system, our culture, and are going to make Aggies proud everywhere." And that, to me, and obviously when you're picking elite players, and A&M typically gets to pick, not typically, but you get to pick elite players, and you get the right kind of people, that's music to my ears.
And I think it's played out just like that in this class. It is the #1 ranked recruiting class, but that's not because they went out and said, whatever it takes, let's just bring these guys in. They have, A&M has resources. The NIL funds are there to go to work, but they do a good job of being good stewards with that money. It's not just throwing chunks at guys and wishful thinking and all that stuff. They do take into account the culture of the program, and you see it manifested in a lot of what these guys are saying. These are highly ranked guys, but ultimately, that's something that's out of his control for a large degree, too. I mean, these guys, these rankings change, multiple times over the course of the recruiting cycle. You just got to go out there, evaluate the tape, and find the guys, like you said, that fit what you do. And they've done a phenomenal job of getting a really strong group. And I'll be honest, a lot of it. I go back to the All-American games. Of course, it all started before the process started before that, but A&M has been a huge benefactor of those underclassmen being able to play in those All-American games. You saw a lot of relationships cultivated at those games, and those guys really get to know each other over a few days, spend some time really working together and all that. I think that's been really beneficial, and seeing this class come together. Those guys knowing the talents that A&M's recruiting, knowing the character of the guys, with them being away from home and away from parents, and you get to see who's really grinding away, the character of an individual when they're on their own. And I think that comes back to my mind as a vaulting point for this A&M class. You saw a lot of those relationships formed, and you're seeing it play out.
Talking to Jason Howell here on TexAgs Live. Jason, look, I don't know if there's a guarantee for anything, but in my humble opinion, I feel like when you've got guys that fit your culture and they feel part of that culture, and look, the 22 class is always going to be the one that people talk about, right? And I felt really good about a lot of those guys that year, okay? But I think in today's world where people can leave at any point, right? When you get guys that get you and you get them, and they understand their path to play and they understand their path in your organization, in your program, I think it becomes easier to do what A&M has done the last couple of years, is retain people, and because you continue to be a program of your word.
Yeah, and again, I agree wholehearted with you. I think that's a big difference. I think there's been a lot of lessons learned since 22, both from A&M and just college football in general. I think when all that stuff started to come together, you know, A&M wasn't the only one doing what they did. But yeah, this group, I love the train of thought. I love how connected this group is. And like you said, there's a baseline culture in the program right now that, you know, from the top down, you know, it's the tone's being set, and these guys see it when they come in to visit. They know the standard, and I think they're buying into all of that. It's not just you know, not that 22 was all the way like that as far as like, oh, it's just NIL, and there were a lot of things selling those guys on A&M program at that point, but I think this group is a lot different. The program's in a different spot than the A&M program was at that point, and the culture is stronger from a backbone standpoint.
Jason, one of the notes you send me, don't close the books on 2027 just yet, which means what?
Well, it just means we're a long way from signing day. That's all the way in December. We got a full football season ahead of us. Right now, there's one uncommitted target left out there, and he's deciding on Saturday. Landon Williams-Callis, running back, 5-star out of the Houston area. Texas A&M, Houston, Missouri, SMU, and Texas. And beyond that, it's going to be about flipping prospects, potentially if you want to add to the class, or digging deep and mining the film and seeing, you know, if you can find a hidden gem or under recruited guy that you really like and bringing them on board. But it's about keeping what you got together. And it's, you know, the ups and downs of the season, we see it all the time. A loss here, loss there, and, you know, confidence wanes with certain recruits. I mean, there's no, you know, there's still a lot of work to be done before the hay's in the barn. And, but right now, not to cause any concern, because right now things are good. You're on a firm standing. You've got a real close-knit group, a tightly bonded group that, you know, from family, friends, trainers, coaches, everybody seems to be on board with the direction of things and what's happening at A&M. And yeah, now you got to maintain and maybe add a piece or two.
When you say maintain, obviously every kid is different, every young man is different, but what does that look like? And then you kind of already touched on it, but what does the future look like, at least with this class? Like, what do you think it could look like? You know, you have your eyes open for whatever is shaking with places of guys that potentially decommit, or like when you talk about the future, what could it potentially look like?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, the coaching carousel, we see it every year. Late November, you see successful programs lose top assistants, or you see that head coach get rumored for an NFL job. It doesn't even have to be real. It can just be a rumor that upsets the apple cart sometimes. And so, you know, that kind of stuff plays out over the course of the season, and as signing day becomes real and things get, you know, heated down the stretch. I mean, there are going to be guys that you may see pop back up again. All of that would be, you know, complete conjecture right now. I mean, we're just talking about that. That would all be like a lot of speculation right now. But I mean, you look at the Albert Simeons and the guys that like him that A&M maybe lost a close recruiting battle for, and the needs of the class at that time. A&M may find a piece or two that emerges this fall, or that they've decided, over the course of the season, we've seen enough. This is a guy that we want to bring into the fold. So, of course, we're watching O-line, D-line, running back right now. But as far as, I think right now, I see this group sticking together for the most part. I see a lot, this being a strong core of recruits, and if they don't add a single piece to this class, I mean, you've got the number one recruiting class. You've beat everybody in the country when it comes to putting together the recruiting class, and it's a extremely elite group. And I think A&M's in a great spot to hold on to everybody and maybe add a piece or two.
How difficult is it, and I don't know if it's difficult, if you have the answer for it, to maintain what you have with one class as your attention starts to also creep up a little bit more on the 28s, right? Because you got this 27 class that you feel really good about. You got to make sure you still nurture it, because we've seen situations in the past where you don't nurture it, you lose guys, right? They're not going to do that. But you're also turning your attention to the 28s.
Well, and I think that's what Mike Elko and Derek Miller and this recruiting staff have done very well since they've been on campus, been in College Station. They do a great job of communicating and keeping lines of communication open, and talking about plans and what's happening and what's going on, and explaining everything to all classes. I mean, right now, they've been recruiting 28s and 29s for the last few years. Of course, now we're starting to see those 28s start to make decisions. I mean, you just got a big 5-star kid that announced yesterday he's reclassifying to 27 and announcing on Friday. So, I mean, you're starting to see those guys make a lot of decisions. The quarterbacks are starting to kind of have a domino effect. You're starting to see the big top quarterbacks make their choices. But you don't take the eye off the ball and abandon what you got. But you also don't have as many needs. You're not recruiting as big a pool of 27s. Your pool is these 26 and maybe a few others. And then your 28s. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big focus for what you have coming up this fall on the visits. But I guarantee you, they're not skimping on how they're treating those guys that are committed. I mean, they're definitely going to be rolling out the red carpet as always. And the thing is, it's not like they're having to roll out the red carpet. It's just the way they do things. If you talk to these guys, it's an every time thing. It's not like special. It's just how it's done.
Off topic, but I know it happened last week during SEC Media Days. Was it surprising, the Meredith reclassifying news? Was that kind of something that people had anticipated beforehand when A&M was in the mix, or no?
I think it was a surprise to me. I didn't see that one. In the books. He's, an early graduate, but I didn't see, especially with him being ruled ineligible for the fall at North Crowley just a couple weeks ago. I didn't see it all coming together so quickly for him being able to just say, hey, I'm headed to Austin in August. Let's make it happen. That was definitely a surprise, and hey, kudos to the guys in Austin for making it happen. We'll see how much of an impact he has right away, but I got a feeling they'll get him in the mix somehow throughout the season.
Jason, who's a 28 that could be deciding soon?
Well, the big one is quarterback Donald Tabron II out of Detroit, Michigan, Cass Tech, 5-star. He's got A&M up there high on his list. He's visited a number of times. He's been a top target for Coach Wiggins and Coach Lynch. And you got Oregon, Ohio State, Auburn, LSU some of the others very much in the mix there. But he's talked about an August preseason decision, and those quarterback dominoes are falling. And if I'm looking at the guys that A&M's been recruiting at quarterback in the 28 class, Tabron's at the top of that list, and I don't think it's really been close so far. So I think A&M's made him a priority, and there's some close connections to the state of Texas. I think he has some family, connections here, and I think the Central Texas area, and he's got some close ties to Texas, but. I think that's the one I'd really be watching closely, just with other quarterbacks making their decisions, him being close. And it's looking like a preseason August decision. He hasn't announced a specific date, but that's one to watch.
And there's a new intriguing offer that's out right now?
Yeah, it's just one of my personal favorites. I got to see him, Jay-Sean Mitchell, San Antonio Brennan, a 2028 running back. 5'11", 205, 210, 4.40, ran a 10.8 100-meter. Last year had a right around 1,000 yards, all-purpose yards. But he's got a really dynamic skill set. And this spring, he really saw his recruiting take off. He got his first offer from Colorado State in January. Since then, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. They've all been pouring in over the spring and summer months, and he's one to keep an eye on. Like I said, he brings a dynamic skill set, really good receiver out of the backfield. Runs with great contact balance, an explosive athlete. Like I said, with a 10.8 100-meter, he won the opening regional fastest man. They lined him up and had him run it out in a 40, and he emerged the victor over some pretty fast competition out there. And just a guy to keep an eye on. Trooper Taylor offered him, I want to say Saturday, and A&M hadn't been in the mix there, but he's planning to come for the Missouri State game, and we'll see how it plays out. A&M wouldn't be surprised to see A&M be a factor there before it's all said and done.
Jason, great stuff, buddy. We'll continue this on the other side. I got another 28 question to ask you, and then we'll just kind of look ahead at some timetables for Texas A&M and for TexAgs' content team. All right, right now we're talking Bubba's 33. If you haven't gone recently, you're missing out on some awesome food. If you like wings, I do. That's a great place for wings, burgers, pizza. It's just an all-around great place to go. It feels like a sports bar. You can watch games here. You can hang out, bring the kids. It's an awesome place, and they're having their Burgers for the Brave parking lot party coming up. Join them for an incredible month of community support at their Burgers for the Brave parking lot party, where they're going to announce the final fundraising total for Homes for Our Troops, recognize 2 outstanding local veterans, enjoy live music and local vendors, and make one last push for this amazing cause. That is July 31st, Burgers for the Brave parking lot party. Bring the whole family. Kids can enjoy some face painting, balloon artists, while everyone takes part in an evening of great food, entertainment, community. It's the perfect family outing and a chance to make a lasting difference for our nation's heroes. It's Bubba's 33 on Highway 6 in College Station. Go check it out. Hey friends, David Nuno here, talking to my buddies. I got Sheldon and Danny Shelley of Aggieland Hydration. Sheldon, I want to start off with you. What is different about Aggieland Hydration?
So we're a 100% mobile IV company. We are opening a storefront later this year in Bryan College Station, but we come to you, and we have about 10 nurses that serve the area.
Danny, what's one thing that people get wrong about IV hydration?
The one thing I would say is everyone thinks the needle stays in your arm the whole time. So when you get poked with the needle goes away, a small little catheter stays in, and that's how you get your infusion.
And then Sheldon, do you guys do a bunch of events? Are you all around town?
Yes, we did the Troubadour Festival. We try to do one event a month in the Bryan College Station area.
That's great. That's why we see you everywhere. Danny, what's the best drip for somebody who's active, who thinks they're active? Weekend warrior, like what's the best drip out there?
Yeah, so our overall wellness strip is our Myers cocktail. It has 6 different vitamins in it. That's what I would say for your average adult. People who are big into working out, or if they work outside a lot, I would recommend the Maroon Muscle Recovery. That one has 10 different vitamins in it, and it's really geared towards recovery and removing toxins from the body.
All right, so if somebody wants to check you out, what's the website?
It is aggielandhydration.injectables.com.
All right, the phone number, by the way, is 979-217-1561. It is Aggieland Hydration. Hey friends, David Nuno here for the Association of Former Students, and have you checked out the latest issue of the Texas Aggie magazine? The May through June issue is a special Aggie Spirits issue that includes all things Aggie: wine, beer, mead, spirits, and much, much more. And the team at the Association of Former Students searched far and wide for Aggie-owned businesses, breweries, wineries across the state, the country, and even the world. That's right, the globe, baby. And as much as could be found has been compiled into the magazine for the Aggie Network. Now, normally, the Texas Aggie magazine is available only to Century Club members. However, this issue is available to everyone. So to read the issue and explore giving to receive future issues, visit tx.ag/TexasAggie. That is tx.ag/TexasAggie. Again, don't miss the special Aggie Spirits issue of the Texas Aggie to explore all things Aggie: wine, beer, mead, spirits, and much, much more. It is tx.ag/TexasAggie. Check it out. We're back here on Recruiting Country, brought to you by American Momentum Bank. Jason Howell on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. All right, Mr. Howell, let's get into some early 5-stars that are eyeing Texas A&M. Give me some names.
Well, we mentioned Donald Tabron. Asher Ghetto from Jacksonville, the Bow School, is definitely one to put on your radar. We did a 20-minute interview with Asher, and it is he's one of the more fun guys you'll get to know. He's a dynamic football player, visited A&M in the spring, went to the Texas A&M Texas baseball game, and just fell in love. He's like, it made me fall back in love with baseball. It was such an intense, awesome experience, and he's excited to be back. He'll be in College Station for the A&M Arkansas game. And just cannot say enough about Texas A&M, and I know his parents really fell in love with the school as well. Of course, there's a number of top schools all over him, Miami, Ohio State, Clemson. He's got them all out there that are after him. But one of the elite edge rushers in the class, and a guy that is keeping a really close eye on A&M. Mark Matthews has been on his trail a little bit, establishing some really good bonds and connections there. So, but Asher's definitely one to keep an eye on. Prince Che out of Thomasville, Georgia, and Thomas County Central, one of the top defensive tackles you'll find in the country. Big body, came in multiple times this spring and summer, and has been a guy that A&M's definitely been hot on his trail. Look for him to be back in town. One of the early elite defensive tackles in the class. You're going to want to put Dylan Mitchell on your radar. Some of those in-state guys, James Foster, Dylan Mitchell, Armani Edwards. Those are a few guys to have on your radar as far as the in-state guys. Casey Barner, one of the more dynamic players I saw last year out of Georgia. One of the top safeties in the country. He gets it done in a variety of ways out there, but he's got some honey badger to him, and I just love the way he plays the game, sees the field, and he can get it done in a number of ways. But those are a few of those 5-star guys, those top 25, 30 guys in the country to definitely keep an eye on. A&M's very much in the mix for. And one of those guys that I would have put in there is Amir Sears, who he's reclassified to 27 and announcing on Friday. A&M was very much a factor there, and probably have a hat on the table when he makes his selection. But with the reclassification, the moving up of his timeline, I got a feeling that one's headed a different direction, probably a little closer to home. He's out of Miami, so keep an eye on the Canes out there for that one.
All right, so the TexAgs recruiting team is going to be all over the place, right? High school visits begin for you and Bronny?
Yeah, I know I'm getting out to a few. I'm going to be, prioritizing some of those committed prospects. Get out to Waxahachie, get out to Burleson Centennial, see a few guys, see some practices, check in with some of the top 28s in the area, do some preseason stuff with those guys, and get to see them go to work under this hot Texas sun and make some things happen. Then football season's right around the corner. And there's quite a few big matchups already on the schedule that A&M fans are going to want to circle.
Do you have some games that you want to share with us that maybe we should put our eyes on?
Right off the bat, you're going to have Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas, and Mark Matthews going against DeSoto. I want to say that game's going to be on ESPN at the end of August. Something to circle on the calendar. Start off your football season there. See a little future A&M offensive tackle there, and Matthews go to work with a talented squad there at St. Thomas Aquinas. October in New Jersey, you got a big bang up with Don Bosco and Mackay Allen taking on Bergen Catholic in what is always one of the Northeast's best football games. And wrapping up the season, November 11th, you got St. Francis Academy and IMG going toe-to-toe, and that's going to be a big one with A&M involved on both sides. You got Zyron Forstall, you got McFarland out there at receiver, and then you got Raylan Henry on the other side at cornerback for St. Francis Academy. So a lot of fun, and it's you got them sprinkled throughout the calendar, and of course you're always going to have some big time matchups here in the state of Texas. I got Waxahachie, and I got some other big games, Allen and South Lake Carroll, and some of those games on my schedule coming up here in the DFW area.
Mr. Howell, It's a great time. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you next week.
Always a pleasure.
That's the great Jason Howell there on the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with, in case you missed it, and I probably missed it because I haven't been looking at anything. Right now, we're talking about our good friends at Paragon Financial Advisors. Great teams don't chase quick wins. They build for long-term success. And that same philosophy applies at Paragon, your financial life and your business. And they're Aggie-owned and operated there at Paragon Financial Advisors. And the focus isn't on just chasing headlines or reacting to every market move. It's about building thoughtful financial planning that helps you pursue your goals for years to come. And that means helping families prepare for retirement, guiding business owners as they grow successful companies, and helping prepare for the day that they're ready to sell or transition the business that they've worked so long and hard on. If you're ready to take the long view, visit paragon-adv.com to learn more. Paragon Financial Advisors, Aggie-owned, independent, serving clients nationwide. I was hoping for all the emotions in one segment, laugh, cry, all the things. But apparently, in case you missed it, it's not going to make me cry or mad. It's all right.
Why would you want that?
I want all the emotions.
It's just happy and funny.
Yeah.
Happy and funny. All right, well, let's do happy and funny. We've got Sydney in the house, Sydney Clevenger and
Hello.
Kaylee Dreyer.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to get us started
Why
today.
is it always awkward? Every time.
Because you always have a comment to say. Like I was waiting
That's why
for
you like to do it.
NGS. Like I was waiting.
I was thinking about it, but I already used it, so I don't want to recycle. Northgate said.
Well, I'm going to get us started today. Yesterday was Mike Elko's birthday.
Happy birthday.
He turned 49, which means he is now the SEC's 10th youngest head coach and 68th youngest overall in the FBS.
10th youngest head coach, which makes him the 6th oldest head coach.
Fifth, sixth?
Sixth oldest head coach.
And then the 68th youngest in FBS.
Okay. Billy said this on the stage the other day, and it hit me hard. He goes, "It's the first time I've been older than a head coach at Texas A&M."
I do remember.
I heard
I'm
that.
also older than Elko. That is just props to Elko for being great at his job and getting that job at a young age. But I've hit that age, so thanks.
Does it make you sad?
Nah.
Okay,
It is what it is.
Good.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it.
That is true.
I can't go rewind, so no, it's fine.
Good.
Okay, so another thing I'm not sure if you will have seen, but a bunch of SEC teams have been doing TikToks, and they are getting clowned.
I guarantee I haven't seen it.
But they're all over Twitter. Like
This is
the OU one.
Is that the guy who was walking around town with his girlfriend, or is that a different guy? I don't know. He was
I'm not sure
dancing
about that
somewhere.
one, but
Okay.
I know that Mississippi State had a really famous one, but we could not show that one.
Why? Is it like?
it was in the locker room. They were not fully clothed.
Oh.
But it is
happened to somebody I
circulating
know.
TikTok.
If
and
you would like to
Twitter.
see it, it's all
No,
over Twitter.
I'm good.
You might not want to see it.
No,
yeah.
I don't. Look, I recognize I'm a dinosaur in this industry. Like you're supposed to be on TikTok and all these things, right? I know that. Never. Not gonna happen. Okay. Why
It's
am I
on
yelling?
Twitter though. Anyway,
I'll pass.
But at
I get
media
aliens
days,
on my Twitter feed.
I bet you do actually. At media days, so Mississippi State was the school that started this whole like TikTok dance, cringy, whatever thing. And at media days, Lebby was actually asked if he would appear in a TikTok with the team after a certain number of wins, and his answer was absolutely not.
Good
which
for him.
I don't blame
Now
him.
you know who used to do some TikToks. I don't know if he still does. You know, you were about to say yes. Now
Yeah.
you forgot who.
But then I forgot.
Shane Beamer.
Yes.
In the
okay.
beginning,
Did he?
Well,
Yeah.
he's an interesting guy.
He
Like,
is. I don't hate him. People hate him. I don't hate him.
My favorite thing is when Obi makes fun of him.
Yeah. I don't hate him. Now, he doesn't like us. Well, for one weekend, he probably doesn't even remember us. But I don't mind him. I mean, he's got to win at the end of the day. That's all. You can put up with a lot if you win.
Yes. Now my favorite part, Holly Rowe was seen dancing to Mo Bamba, which is a great song at A&M football games. That's why I love this video so much. It's hilarious.
What
I
is she
didn't know
wearing?
Holly got down like
Is
that.
that WNBA
Yes, it
party?
was after the WNBA.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And there's some memes coming out of this video. One person said, "My friend thinks you're cute." The friend. And she's the friend.
Hey.
Okay.
Look.
I love that
I'm going to make
video
a
so
professional
much.
choice here not to engage in this one. I'm just going to be like, Holly, you keep living your best life. Okay? Whatever is in my head, Holly, you keep living your best life.
I genuinely relate to her in that video.
Is that how you dance?
So
It is.
Just do the dance.
I'm okay. You have to catch me
I did
when
my
I'm
dance.
NGS.
Come on. All right. I'll put it on Facebook for all the old people.
You should.
Okay, so next thing that we have, continuing on with the jersey talk that I know y'all have been talking about recently, but obviously the Big 12 and Monster, we talked about that before, and their deal is approximately $1 million per school. Well, Notre Dame and SoFi is valued at $18 to $20 million per year.
Wow.
But I also think this is interesting because Notre Dame doesn't even have their last names on the back of their jerseys, but they're going to have a sponsor on the front of them. And then this list is just basically all the schools that now have jersey sponsors. One new one is Ohio State and JP Morgan Chase, which is valued at more than $15 million annually.
Cal's got one. They got what? Dial pad? What's dial pad? It's like a
Some of them
low
are
budget
so
iPad.
random. Some of them are so random.
Like UTSA, I think, has some random
Well, I mean, sometimes if it's your alumni and like you're like, I get it. Like, and I know Trev said that A&M was not going that direction, at least for now.
Okay, if A&M were to have a jersey patch, what brand would you like to see on the jersey?
Something Aggie owned and operated. Paragon Financial Advisors.
Okay.
What about Buc-ee's? Everyone's talking Buc-ee's.
Or HEB.
Yeti.
Bluebell, I think, would be a fun one.
Bluebell. TexAgs.
TexAgs. There you go.
Well,
That's
people
the
already
one.
think we work, like when they're not in the market, you go, oh, you work for A&M, right? Like, no, I cover A&M. Anyway.
Okay, so another big story that just came out, Tennessee star linebacker Arian Carter has been suspended for the first 2 games.
What did he do?
It's a very interesting story, in my opinion.
Tell me more.
He basically had some thoughts that he might go to the NFL, so his agent paid for a $427 flight to an NFL pre-draft training facility.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up coming back to college. So the NCAA basically said that's not allowed. But he did pay his agent back. And my thoughts are, is this really what the NCAA is caring about? A $427 flight to an NFL training facility.
That's so interesting because there's
bigger issues.
There's bigger issues. This is unrelated, but kind of in the similar. Did you guys see? I'm not going to say the lady's name, but there's a news anchor in Houston that got in trouble for accepting tickets to the rodeo and the World Cup. She just got suspended like this week because journalists aren't supposed to. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. Journalists aren't supposed to do that, which I understand. That was at 13, you couldn't do it either when I worked there. And I know when Olin was with the Statesman and other places, same thing. But I just found it interesting that she went to somebody's box and has now been suspended.
Yeah.
So the things you can get mad at and the things you can't.
Josh Heupel put out a statement basically defending Arian, and I mean, it doesn't help. He still has to sit out against Georgia Tech and Furman.
By the way, Gaither on the YouTube chat, you're familiar with her work. She says, "Don't disrespect Panderia. It's my favorite restaurant in San Antonio." Is that the place that was?
Yes, that's UTSA's
Panderia. Say
jersey
it.
patch. Panderia.
Was
that good?
Yeah, it was very good.
I don't think
No,
I can
you gotta
say
try.
it.
You gotta try.
Panderia.
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 That's very good.
Good.
Munson, go. That was a little more Italian, but it was good. Very good. Good job. All right. Anyway, anything else?
Last thing, y'all talked about it a little bit already, but Dan Orlovsky was talking about Orlovsky. Sorry.
He was a quarterback for the Texans. Do you remember that? No, it's before your time. He was a super backup. Go ahead.
I wasn't born.
It was like 8 years ago.
The name sounds familiar, but
You were definitely born 8 years ago.
Okay.
You're in college
He said
and you go to
that he
Northgate.
has not and he will not ever get a pedicure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you wouldn't get a pedicure earlier on the show. Did you say that?
I didn't say
it was
that.
Obi that
I
said
just
that.
don't think dude feet talk is allowed.
I think
Dude feet talk is like right now there are people driving, crashing. Sorry, Brian College Station. No. Guys and feet out.
if they're gross, but if they're pedicured,
They're
it's
guys.
perfectly fine.
No, okay.
It's hygienic.
You get like a massage too.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't talk about it. That's all I'm saying.
But it's like clean.
Fair.
Okay, but I don't talk about my showers.
In the lobby, she told OB that he should go get a pedicure, and he said absolutely not.
Look, if you want to get one, fine. I'm not going to judge you for getting one. I just don't want to talk about dudes' feet.
Because they're generally gross, but if you get a pedicure, then they're not. Really. They still kind of are.
It's like hair in your food. Like I'm good. Like I'm now.
I guess.
Nick, what are your thoughts on this topic?
I would not get one.
Well, what if you have like
But that doesn't mean I haven't gotten one before.
Don't you like? It'll stop you getting an ingrown nail. Like
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So
You know who does get pedicures?
Okay, I don't
Anderson Garcia. He was seen all the time
Yeah.
at Nail Lounge. All the time.
He's always.
I'm sure he wants that out there.
He was posting about it, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
You're
Sorry,
not
Andy.
Sure. You're not sure, are you? All right. So apologies for all the accidents on Texas Avenue and on University on Bush for listening to this segment. We appreciate it. All right. Let's move on to anything but feet talk. We're done?
We're done with
All
feet
right.
talk.
Thank you. I have no live spot. I just wish I did. I wish I had something. Nick, just toss it to break, please.
Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em. We will talk football, I promise you, after that segment. It is TexAgs Live. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Ashley Munson, on her final show at TexAgs, she becomes a grown-up. She goes into the real world. She'll have real responsibility, real bills. Munson, you have a question for us.
I do. So, what has Coach Mike Elko changed the most since taking over?
Okay. I want the audience to participate in this. So text in your answers on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line or on the YouTube page or on TexAgs chat. I was on the premium chat a moment ago. Wherever, all right? And I want Nick to answer. For me, what he has changed. Now, you have to understand, I covered other A&M coaches. I covered Coach Fran on a day-to-day basis in 2005. I believe it was 04, 05. And then I did not cover Sherman on a day-to-day basis. I did not cover Sumlin on a day-to-day basis. So I just wasn't around them enough. But what I can tell you, what he's changed from what I think the Jimbo era was, is organization and focus. Okay? At times it felt like during that era they were just, I know they had a plan, don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to minimize, but I feel like there's a clear direction and everything has a checks and balances, right? So They're going to do business a certain way. It's not open for interpretation. It is transparent. This is how we're going to do it. He's also, I believe, restored hope that this program is beyond what they've been in years past. So I think that's one of the best things that Coach Elko has done, is he's got a clear, call it business plan for Texas A&M football, what it should look like, a hierarchy, how teams are. And I also think he's done this. I think he's done a great job of adapting to the ever-changing landscape of college athletics while keeping an old school mentality. And I don't think that's easy to do, right? Like Dabo, who I think is a really good coach, has not adapted to the changing landscape. I believe that, let's use another one. Brian Kelly, I don't know if he adapted to the changing landscape. He tried too hard, right? So you can, Jimbo did not adapt to the way defenses were adapting to them, right? And it was so complicated. I think you have less of an attention span with your generation than years past. I think Coach Elko has a little bit of the old school mentality mixed in with forward thinking. Nick, what say you, friend?
Along the lines and on a selfish note, like my trust in them, like I trust that going into big games, like in years past, I feel like I haven't been, as a fan, I guess I'm speaking, or as a student at A&M, I didn't always have the trust that, you know, A&M would show up in big games or would be prepared for games and stuff like that. But now I think every game the Aggies, led by Mike Elko, go into, I trust that they are ready to go and will be ready to give their best effort. And I think he's brought that to A&M.
I also think for me, he has changed. I used to think, how are they going to lose this thing? To now I'm like, how are they going to win this thing? And that's kind of been a shift internally because as I've said on this show this week already, the UCLA famous game in Los Angeles, where I told my coworker, Tom Abrams, they're going to lose this game. They were up big at half, right? They're going to find a way to lose it. And the reverse to that is the South Carolina game last year, and I'm not saying I'm always like this. I'm not saying that I'm always optimistic, because I'm not. I mean, Olin will tell you, he sits with me. But that game I like to point at, because I think it's because of Coach Elko that I'm like, all right, if they do this, they're going to find a way to win. And that's because I believe in the process. I believe in what he's done. I believe in everything that they had put together to that point, that they are a better team than they are showing. This is a comedy of errors. So that's what I think he has changed. There's a good text that came in, if you want to read it, from Cody on the Catalyst Pure for Performance Energy text line, if you want to do that one.
Yeah, he said, Elko has changed the culture the most.
And I think that is great. Now, we're not in the locker room, but what I can tell you is these guys, for their interviews and NIL, right, they show up on time. They are eager to talk to us. And they don't have to be, guys, because I've been around star athletes that aren't. And I'm not saying that is, but I think it speaks to how they like to do their business. I'm using one example, but you can see it on the practice field. You can see it in how they play their games. You can see it in their warm-ups, right? So for me, that is very apparent. The culture, I don't know if Jimbo said this or not, but I know somebody famous has said it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. It's one way to say this. It's easy to say that out loud. Hey, how you do this? How you do everything? But when you really go about your business that same way, how you go about your studies, how you go about your practice habits, how you go about your lift, your recovery, your conditioning, that to me has been instilled. And you have to have a staff that supports your message and your mission. And he's done a great job of establishing that. And I think he's done a really good job hiring coordinators and assistant coaches. He's done it all. So I've given you a long answer. What else?
Another question?
Or whatever else. This is your last minute and 30 on the show. I mean, if you want to just be like, ask a question.
Okay, I'll ask another question.
Okay.
And you could do a quick one. What does success look like for the Aggies this year?
Success is 9-3 or better. Now, there are going to be many people that say, that's not a success, that's a step back. I'm taking into account the changes and the 9-game SEC schedule. I think success is 9-3 or better this year. I think ideal success is another year in the playoffs. You hope you're knocking on the door of the playoffs that last couple weeks of the season, right? That's a successful season. We may not feel it in the moment. I mean, how many people were upset after the Miami game, right? Like, oh, the season was it wasn't a failure.
was great. It was 11-2. It needs to be better. And that's what they're building towards. So to me, success has to be 9-3 or better. And ideally, a double-digit win season and a playoff win. That, to me, is optimal success. Winning a national championship is ultimately what we all want. All right, that's going to do it for TexAgs Live here on a Wednesday. Tomorrow on the show, I bet you the fan show guys will be here because what else are they going to do? Work? Doubt it. Thanks so much for watching and listening. We'll catch up with you mañana.